So how much do you get into with law firm owners, like the actual optimization of the actual business? So what I mean by is, you seem very inefficient in this stage of the firm because I'll use like a personal injury firm. So let's say you're really good at bringing in clients, but for some reason you get stuck in the stage where you've filed a lawsuit, you've done some depositions, but you're not pushing cases to trial. Do you ever get into the weeds with things like that? Because sometimes there might be things that you just can't fix, So I wonder how into the weeds you really get, or if it's more of this is how you need to be moving the money around, kind of a thing. I'm trying to get an idea as to how deep into the weeds you have to get with, because maybe you don't have to. Maybe just by monitoring how the cash is moved around, it forces their action. So I am curious about that part of it.
So I won't get into the weeds of helping you solve that problem, but we're going to see if that's an issue pretty quickly, right? So if your cases are taking, if you're a PI firm and it's taking a year and a half for you to settle them, something is not working. So that's where we would recommend you dig into that business process yourself or hire somebody to help you with that specifically. We have other clients where they just can't get the cases, the money moved to get the settlement done fast enough, right, out of the trust account for the PI firms. So the firm owners recognize that pretty quickly, like, oh, wow, it's taking us 60 days to move this money after we have an agreement. We need to get more help or fix our processes to move that money faster. So as you're as we're looking at how the money's flowing, the issues operationally usually surface, and that's where the owner then has to step up and say, I'm going to fix this because this is a problem.
Gotcha. Yeah, I kind of figure that's the way it is. And a lot of times the law firm owner knows what the issue is.
Yes.
They just need someone to kind of like
Push
prod
them
it, push.
to
Yeah.
to take care of it, right? So if we have these goals with our cash and we're not able to move the money the way we want to because there's operational issues, you've got to fix the operational issues, and that's going to fix your cash problem and the goals that you have there.
I'm very curious. I don't know if I've ever asked you this, but I want to know so badly. Are there any parts of Profit First that you disagree with, whether it's the book or the system in general?
Um, I don't. I I think if you, it's not going to solve all your problems with your firm, your business. So you, if you say, oh, I'm going to create 5 accounts, everything's going to be fixed for me. It is not going to be fixed for you. I think you still have to budget. You still have to plan, into the future. And most law firms, professional service businesses, most of our expenses are salary, right? So typically just buying less office supplies or those kind of low hanging fruit is not going to solve problems if you have a cash issue or a profit issue. You really still have to dig way deeper into the operations of the business. In the book, Mike gives an example of he was one of the businesses he was a part owner in, and I don't remember the exact details, but it was some sort of manufacturing business, and the owner wanted to buy some equipment things at Lowe's, and they just decided to delay it for a couple weeks, and then they figured out they didn't need it. Well, that's not always the case. It's not that simple. I know he has to make examples that are going to work for people and resonate, right? But it's not that simple in a professional services firm. I can't just not pay my people for a couple weeks because I'm trying to increase my profit.
Sure.
We can delay some hiring decisions, but that's a very complicated process strategy to go through, right? Because if we hire people, typically we should then be making more money. So it's just more complex than just some of the simple delaying expenditure examples that he gives in the book.